What's up, guys? This is Bumpkins. Today is January 6, 2021. It is a Wednesday. Wednesday means new comic book day. New comic book day means new comic book pickup video. As usual, I went to Infinity Flux here in Chattanooga, the best comic store I've literally ever been to, and got a... This was a big day, guys. So, I got a nice stack of comics, and this isn't even all. I've got some more stuff down here I'm going to show, but this was a big day of comics. We've got Future State stuff, we've got King in Black stuff, we've got other stuff I'm excited to show you, so let me just jump right in. Starting off with Amazing Spider-Man number 56, I got the variant, I don't know if it's cover B, I guess it is, but it's the Spider-Man versus the Alien, the Xenomorph cover. This isn't, the Xenomorph isn't in this. This is just Marvel sort of hyping up their getting the license to Alien, so that's pretty cool. And then I got the, it says Symbiote Spider-Man number 1. This is actually Marvel Tales Symbiote Spider-Man. And actually, when I got home, I had a little bit of buyer's remorse on this one, just because everything that it reprints, I actually have those issues, so I probably didn't really need it, although the cover is super cool, and it's actually nice, and it's kind of a little bit of a thicker book too, if you can see there. So it's cool to have these reprinted. It makes it easier to read the issues, some of the 80s era Amazing Spider-Man and a couple others with the symbiote suit. They're good stories, so it's easier to read them that way. Picked up Eternals number 1. This book finally came out. It was delayed from last year, I think. I actually know very little about the Eternals, but I know the basics. You know, the Celestials created them and the Deviants and all that stuff. But I don't know a lot about the specifics. I did get the Jack Kirby Eternals Omnibus, which I haven't broken into yet, but I figure around the time the movie comes out, I'm going to want to take a deep dive into that, learn about the characters. But this is a modern story, new story of the Eternals, and I wanted to try it out. So there that is. One I'm excited about, Iron Man number 5, cover A. I like the cover A's the best because Alex Ross, I mean, you can't go wrong. From the previews on this one, it looks like he puts together a pretty crazy team, so that's got to be a fun read. Guardians of the Galaxy number 10, got it because it's a King in Black tie-in. Again, haven't read any of the King in Blacks yet, not even close to being able to read that story yet, but I'm getting all the tie-ins so that they'll be there when I'm ready for it. And then speaking of that, King in Black Return of the Valkyries number 1. I guess this has Jane Foster, Valkyrie, which I don't know much about because I haven't read that either. But again, this is here when I'm ready for it. And then King in Black, Spider-Woman number 8, King in Black tie-in. Just trying to get all the tie-ins. And then Venom number 32 with the Alien variant cover as well. Again, the Alien's not in this, but it's just sort of a promo. But that is cool. I mean, I love, that would be an awesome fight, wouldn't it? Venom versus a Xenomorph. Marvel, you need to make that happen now that you have the rights. I think this is a King in Black tie-in, but again, not ready to read it yet. And then the last one for Marvel, Star Wars, The High Republic, number 1. This is the first comic of this whole High Republic era that Disney's really pushing. So the High Republic initiative, I guess, is it's going to be a series of comics, of novels, I think magazines, just different publications of stories from the High Republic era, which takes place, I want to say like 200 years before the Skywalker saga. I'm not 100% sure on that timeline, but I do know it's much, much earlier than any of the movies, way before that, back when the Republic was in its heyday, Jedis were everywhere. So this one, I was excited to get this. I'm gonna read it, but then this one is going to my buddy Opie. You guys know that over the last few weeks, I've been getting him some of the Star Wars action figure variants. I had such a big stack today, I wasn't able to get any of those, but I was happy to get this for him. I was happy that that my shop had him. It's not a scalping thing. I wasn't trying to scalp it to get it for somebody else. This is a gift for Opie. He cherishes and loves Star Wars as much as I cherish and love comic books. So this is going to make a really, really nice piece to his collection. I'm going to read it first, though. So I really can't wait to. I've had a hard time diving into, really getting into the Star Wars comics, but this is the beginning of a whole new thing that I don't need to know a lot of the detailed comic backstory for a lot of stuff. So I'm excited to give it a shot, and then I'm excited to donate it to Opie's Star Wars collection. Moving on to DC, we've got DC Generations Shattered #1. I guess maybe this sort of is kind of related to the end of Death Metal, which I haven't read any of that. I haven't read any DC since before Bendis even took over Superman, if that gives you an idea of how far back I am. So I don't know if I should read this or not before I jump into Future State, the new Batman #1. The next Batman #1. I'm really excited for Future State, but I think I might be playing with fire a little bit because, again, I haven't read Death Metal. And I don't know if I really need to appreciate these stories. I'm going to do it anyway. And then whenever I do get around to finally getting caught up with, and we're talking like the Tiny and Batman, Bendis Superman, Scott Snyder Justice League, I mean, all that stuff. I haven't read any of it. So whenever I do get caught up all the way through Death Metal, if I needed that stuff to enhance these stories, then it'll just be like a prequel. I'm reading prequels, but I'm really excited for the Future State books. I have every single one of them on my pull list, so that's going to be a lot of comics for the next 2 months before all the DC books come back in March. But I'm really, really excited for all of these. So next Batman #1, we've got Future State, The Flash #1. And I got all the variants too, the cover Bs, I think. So Future State Flash. We've got Future State Harley Quinn. I don't love Harley Quinn. I think she's a little bit overplayed like Deadpool. I don't love Deadpool in I don't love comic Deadpool either. And I don't love comic Harley Quinn, but I'm really intrigued by the whole Future State thing. So I wanted to get all of them. So that one. Got Future State Superman of Metropolis #1. That's actually John Kent, Superman's son, who I know almost nothing about because I haven't read those books. But again, Future State, excited to read those. Future State Swamp Thing #1. I'm not even really the biggest Swamp Thing fan, but I just wanted to read all the Future State, so there it is. And Future State Wonder Woman. This one I'm actually really interested in because is it Yara Flor? New Wonder Woman. And I've heard a lot of good things about this book. Seems like a good story. I'm really excited to read this. Moving on to Image, we've got crossover #3. You guys know, I really am liking this story so far, even though I'm not quite sure where it's going. And but I am definitely in for the ride. So you guys know I don't normally get 2 covers, but this one was so hard to resist. So I got cover A and cover B, Infinity Flux had several of the Spawn covers. So if you didn't know, you probably do know, but if you didn't, there's a lot of the Spawn cover is the variant, but then Ellie, there's variants as to what comic she's reading. So I got the Savage Dragon one, where she's reading Savage Dragon because I love the Savage Dragon, although I haven't read it since the 90s. There's one where she's reading Cyberforce, one where she's reading Walking Dead, one where she's reading Nowhere Men, and maybe 1 or 2 others. And then there's some other variants too that I didn't pick up, but I opted for the Savage Dragon because I really like the Savage Dragon. So crossover #3, 2 different versions of that. Plus, I like the cover A because I like big mechs, and that looks like a Gundam. So we'll see what that is. And then, excuse me, the last actual comic I got is Scout's Honor #1 from Aftershock. It just sounded, the premise sounds cool. It's like a post-apocalyptic story, and if I'm correct, it's something like it's so far in the future they find an old Boy Scout manual, and that becomes their Bible, I think, something like that. I'm not really sure, but the story sounds interesting. Plus, Aftershock, I picked up over the last couple weeks. I picked up Kaiju Score #1 and 2 from Aftershock, and really liked that series. So I'm interested in reading more from Aftershock, and I think this is this could be another good addition to their library, or my library of theirs that I have. So excited to read that one. Well, that's all for the single issues, but that's not where the pickups stop, because I actually got 3 more things that I'm super excited about. My son started back to school today. He's a little bit nervous about it, a little apprehensive, even though he does so well in school. I thought I'd get him a little surprise to sort of cheer him up, lift his spirits a little bit. So I picked up Minecraft Stories from the Overworld. I'm not really sure what this is. I think this is just an anthology with some different Minecraft stories in it. But like, I mean, it's cool. Like, he loves Minecraft, and he likes book. He's not a comic reader, but he loves stuff like this. So I thought that would make him feel a little bit better. I thought it would brighten his spirits a little bit. And then I was happy to see that they had several copies of Firepower, the Volume 2 trade paperback. I haven't read the series yet, but have been really, really interested in reading it. I do have, so Volume 2 is actually, collects issues 1 through 6, because Volume 1, I think, is the free comic book day issue, and then like the original graphic novel, which is sort of the origin, I guess. I'm not real sure. I haven't read it yet. I bought that one digitally way back before I was back into getting singles. So I'm going to read that on my iPad and then jump into this. But super excited. Robert Kirkman, Chris Samney, killer creative team. So I was glad to see that they had this and to jump on it, because I was going to try to get the trade or the singles at some point, and now I can just jump in and read the first 6. And then I picked up the Moon Knight Omnibus. This collects a bunch of stuff. Werewolf by Night, 32 and 33. Too much to go into, but it collects all that stuff, which is super cool. You know, I like Moon Knight. I'm not the biggest Moon Knight fan, but I would love. But then again, I've never read that much Moon Knight at all. So this would be a great way to read a bunch of classic Moon Knight. So I was super excited that they had this. I snatched this up, came home, canceled my Amazon pre-order, and I was happy to do it. So I'm gonna start getting all my omnibuses through Infinity Flux. I don't know why I haven't before now. So I've got to get my list together and get it to them. So that's it. That was a big haul. It was a big day. Like I said, lots of, you know, Future State, of course, is huge. King in Black, omnibuses, trade paperbacks. It was a fantastic new comic book day. So guys, that's it. If you like this video, or if you like any of the other videos on this channel, maybe hit the subscribe button. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a sarcastic thumbs up. If nothing else, leave me a comment. Let me know what you picked up today. Are you trying out all the Future States? Are you not trying out any of them? I know some people aren't super thrilled with that initiative. I think it's cool. I think it's like sort of an Elseworlds-ish kind of thing. Just a way to tell some different stories for a little while, on a temporary basis. I'm really excited about that. So just let me know what you picked up, what you're looking forward to. I love comic books. I could talk about them to a room full of people or just to a camera. It's my favorite form of entertainment. So guys, that's it for this time. Until the next video, stay safe. I will see you later. Bye-bye.